Let me move your product in New York City, and I promise you I'll double what No Move's moving. I already have a network in place ready to move product all over the city. My people stay in line. They know better than to bite the hand that feeds them. We don't create any emotional connections. We get straight to business. No one will know where this product is coming from. They won't know where the money's going. Right now, all we need is your product to keep everything going. Shit, they won't even know that we know each other. After today, you don't even gotta see my face ever again. Look, the machine is ready to go as soon as I say go. After that, I'm basically...
a ghost.
Yeah, a ghost.
Welcome back, Top Notch Gang, to another video. With the finale of Power Book 2 Ghost, we all were left with the feeling that this isn't the end. With everything they set up, with even the teaser of Tariq getting a phone call, we know this is not the last we will see of most of these characters, and that leads me to this theory and explanation about the time skip that's gonna happen with Book Ghost, the new spin-off, the characters that will be included in it, and all the things I see being added. Now, before I get into breaking down each of these characters, where they will be in life, I do believe this will be a 5 to 10 year time skip, and it's gonna take like 5 to 10 years in real life. Now listen, before I break it down, like I said, I know a lot of people are not gonna like that because who wants to wait 5 to 10 years in real life, but I'm gonna explain every single detail of why I believe this is the direction that they're going in. I'm gonna be using actual logic and also interviews from some of the actors and just pointing out how it makes the most sense in the world of TV that we're in. And then I'm gonna get into how the spin-off will actually look, the characters involved, and what is gonna take place. So feel free to leave a like, comment, subscribe. If you don't care about why I think it's like this, I'll have a timestamp. You could go ahead and skip to what will be taking place within the show, but let's go ahead and get right into it.
They kind of wrote it towards a little open-ended to me.
Okay.
So like if they decided to bring it back, they could.
Now what you guys just seen there was an interview clip from LaToya, the actor that plays Diana, talking about the season being left off open-ended in case they ever wanted to bring the show back. Now, of course, with us seeing the finale, that's exactly what it was. With all the setup that I talked about, Effie selling back at Stansfield, Brayden gonna be taking over Zion's fight clubs, Tariq got the new plug, connect, everything like that. So with all that setup, if they ever wanted to bring it back, they could. Now, the first question I would ask for people who think that they will bring it back relatively soon, if they were just going to continue from this point of where we're at now, then why not just continue with another season? I think they did this purposely. They ended it here to give these characters and actors time to actually grow. I want you guys to think about it this way. We saw Ghost and Tommy when they was already in their mid 30s to 40s. Like even the actor Omari Hardwick, he got the role when he was already 40 years old. Whereas these actors in Power Book Ghost, they're playing college students, and in real life they're young. Most of them like 26, 27. Michael Rainey Jr. is only 24. If they were gonna pick back up in 2 to 3 years from where we just left off, the show will basically feel the exact same. So it would be no reason to go on hiatus, take a pause, or say that this is the finale. So that's why I believe that they're gonna wait an actual few years in real life and then bring the show back. And I said I'm gonna talk about the climate of TV in real life. You gotta think about it. Everything they're bringing back is reboots, spin-offs of old popular TV shows and everything like that, or it's an adaptation of a book or a comic. They only make shows and movies for things that are already established. So characters like this that we already love, that we just watched over 4 years, it would make the most sense if they were to wait to bring them back. And in the meanwhile, that's why we still have things like Book Force, that's why we still have Raising Kanan, and we have Power Origins, which is going in reverse for Ghost and Tommy and showing their beginning, where they started from. And I think it's good for the fans too, because it's giving us time to actually miss these characters, want to see what happened in the 10 years, how their life turned out. We could get surprise character returns that we're gonna get into next, like I said, like Lauren, Elisa Marie, and the Italian Mob. And also, y'all were already complaining about the suspect writing, that it wasn't as good. They could actually make the storyline better if they were older and just more established overall, like the original Power. And we're still in the meanwhile gonna have at least 3 Power shows running. Even though I know Tommy said Buck Force is ending, we know he already said this is not the end of Tommy's story though.
But don't worry, Tommy's journey is far from over with. We're just getting warmed up and I can't wait to show you what we have planned next. Tune in, cause ghosts never die and power never ends.
So we know we still gonna have another show after that, Raising Kanan, Origins, and like I said, once a few years pass down the line, these actors are older, they could come back and we could pick up the story from there. So to make a long story short and wrap this up, I'm gonna reiterate everything I just said real quick. Doing this makes the most sense in every single aspect based off the actors, their age, the way the show just ended. It doesn't make sense for them to go on hiatus. They could just continue it, but once again, it'll feel like the exact same show, so why not do the time skip? Also, once again, the way TV is made, it makes sense. Make us miss these characters, this show, and then bring it back down the line to get some hype, some excitement for it, because everyone was wondering why it was ending. So it's gonna be even way more hype when it comes back. And then once again, like I said, they already got Origins 4s down the pipeline, so it makes the most sense in my opinion that this is the route they're gonna take. But now, how is all of this actually gonna look? We're gonna go character by character, possible character returns and reintroductions that's gonna greatly help the story. Let's get into it. Obviously, we gotta start with Tariq. Obviously, he's gonna be the main character once again. Now, I think from the point where we left off, he basically said there's a new chain of command and I'm in charge. He put Effie back at Stansfield and running course correct and all that, and he put Brayden over the Fight Club and in charge of all the parties, get a new pan and run the drugs through there as well. Then he went to Noma's brother, got him to be the new plug, give them the shipment, and he said we never have to see each other again. So at this point, he basically took the moniker Ghost. He's the new Ghost. He's gonna take the nickname. I'm pretty sure in the time skip that's what he's gonna be called. He's kind of in a position where he's not gonna be seen just how Ghost was in the past, where no one knew who he actually was besides Lobos, Tommy, and Ruiz. He also has Davis as his lawyer and Nico in his back pocket, so he's working with the cops, something that even Ghost never had. So he's really gonna be sitting at the top for a while, untouchable basically. Now the thing that's most interesting about Tariq though is we saw that he said he can't have a family if he's gonna be in this game. We saw him tell it to Tasha.
You're just never gonna have your own family?
As long as I'm in the game, no.
He said it just won't work. And when he was even explaining to Noma's brother about his business, he said no one has no emotions, no connections, because we know that only get in the way.
They know better than to bite the hand that feeds them. We don't create any emotional connections. We get straight to business.
So I expect him to come into this new series lonely, isolated, by himself. But I think eventually down the line, that's gonna change with the reintroduction of someone like Lauren. We all have been saying it. Lauren was Tariq's Angela, and he fucked that up at a very young age. Obviously, almost got her killed. Then he had the whole plan with Kane to go after her parents, and she just ultimately ended up leaving. I think her being reintroduced into the story, kind of like Angela was reintroduced to Ghost, where they didn't see each other in a long while, and with him being so separated from the game, how he told Noma's brother, you won't have to see my face again, the machine runs on its own, he will be able to pretend that he's not in that life either to be with her. And I think that's where the problems and everything will start to creep in for them. I think everything will be running perfectly smooth, but him forming this reconnection and buying back with Lauren will incite everything to just start falling apart. And I think that's where the story will pick up at for Tariq. Now we'll do Brayden and Effie together because I think theirs is more so similar to one another. And the way I think about it is Tariq is actually more so in the Lobo spot, and Effie and Brayden are in the Ghost and Tommy type of position where they're getting the product from him and making all the money, and Tariq not really having no involvement with the day-to-day shit. So I want to talk about what do I think those two will be doing, because obviously currently, yes, we know Effie is doing Course Perfect and she's at all the colleges and everything like that, but if there's gonna be a time skip, then obviously she's gonna have to move on to bigger and better, and I think that's what she's gonna do. She can't be in college forever. I honestly think she might mentor someone else, because obviously they're gonna have to have new characters introduced into the story, that she might set up another college student around that time to be doing that for her, so they still pulling in money that way. And her and Brayden can do something like Ghost and Tommy did, where we saw Ghost and Tommy used to run a corner with Kanan, like Kanan told Tariq, but then they eventually moved up to the laundromat, started cleaning money through there. Then of course they moved up into the clubs, and I think the clubs is the direction that they're gonna go again. It's just easier and make the most sense, especially for someone like Brayden, who's already throwing these no lie parties with this music performance and everything. He also has the fight club. I think this is the next gradual step that makes the most sense, cleans more money, and that's the direction that they're gonna go in. Now, as far as personal stuff for them, they're both kind of in a weird situation when it comes to that, seeing to the fact that Brayden just got out of a relationship with Elle after killing the nigga that spiked her drugs, and then she left him. She ended up not being shown again. Don't know if she snitched or whatever happened. And then of course Effie gave all her money that she was gonna use to go to Stanford to Kane so he could run away. So both of their personal connections aren't really established yet, which is why I think it makes sense for them to have new people that they're mentoring in the game, and that's how their connections gonna develop. Because I think they have the storylines that would possibly change the least, like once again with the love life gone and them just still be in the game, working for Tariq. I mean, their ending was the least like impactful. Like, so this is just how I see these two characters' stories starting off, at the very least, how we see them at the beginning of the new spinoff. Now we have the new Queenpin, Diana Tejada, her and the rest of the Tejedas, because obviously I think at some point Drew and Kane will make some sort of appearance in this new spinoff, seeing as they left them alive would be no reason for that. But the main focus of this chapter is obviously going to be Diana. Now, I made a video over a year ago talking about how she could become the new Queenpin of the family, but the way her storyline was going this season, with her getting pregnant, trying to get out the game, ultimately ended up losing her baby, and then after losing Monet, she's just all in at this point. She went and took out Anya in the last and final episode, and then of course her, Drew, and Kane went on one final mission to take out Noma. Kane took the fall for everything, went on the run, and it was just left with her and Drew. They got to go free. Now Drew decided to use this as the opportunity to get out the game once and for all, like he always wanted. Say he's gonna go to Monet's service, and then he's going to Paris to paint or whatever the fuck he said. Now she was telling him, nah, we need to rebuild the family business. We need to get the Tejada name back up. And everyone was surprised hearing this come from her, someone who never wanted to be in the game for 4 seasons straight. But now I feel like because she lost everything, this is all she has. This is all she ever known. And we see it when she's around the dinner table thinking about her family and the way she was raised. We know Monet had them putting in work since they was very little. We saw those flashbacks as well. So I think this Diana that we about to get in this new spinoff is just as cold-hearted and rootless, if not more, than Monet in the first 4 seasons. I think she's about to take that to a whole new level. So I think she's going to be running her own drug organization or whatever, but I think it's going to be separate from Tariq, Effie, and Brayden. I don't think she will be working directly with them. I think she's going to have her own shit going on. Now, the interesting part about this is a lot of people, like I said, think she's going to be the next Monet, and that brings to mind, of course, of her eventually having kids. I pointed out Tariq said he not having kids, family, that brings weakness. If she was to do this to become the new Monet, she would have to have kids of her own that she puts in harm's way, or that she fucks over, or whatever, that she puts the game over them. So this would introduce a husband for her more than likely, or some type of boyfriend, as well as a kid or two, depending on how far this time skip is. Now with this, once again, like I said, she'll be way more cold-hearted than Monet, so it's kind of hard to pinpoint where her story is gonna go from here. But eventually I think she will be back. She will be back, maybe in conflict with Tariq and the rest of them, or need them in some type of way, shape, or form for new threats that pop up. As well as when Kane or Drew come back around, I think Drew won't even recognize her anymore because of her actions and the person that she is. And Kane, he'll only be here every so often due to the fact that he he's gonna be on the run for life basically, so I don't know how much he's gonna be in this new spinoff, but I do think Diana being on top is probably one of the most interesting things we all want to see going forward. Overall, that's it for this video. You can let me know your thoughts and opinions down below. Obviously, this isn't everything. This is just a start, a rough draft of how they could or would pick the story back up if they were to do a time skip. I think it's the smartest thing they could do. I explained all the reasons, like I said. If you don't think it's going to be a time skip, if you think whenever the show comes back in a year, 2 years, 3 years, let me know. But I want you guys to be logical. Like, I want it to actually make sense. That's all I be trying to do. Like, this is not what I want to happen. If I'm being real, I get paid to make videos on Power. I want them to make a new show tomorrow. So I'm not going to act like, oh, this is what I want to happen. Wait 7 years for a whole TV show. No, if they can make that bitch tomorrow, make it tomorrow. But once again, based off all the logic and details, I do think this is the direction that they will go in. And also, this video is kind of just running too long. I want to talk about more characters, Lauren specifically, about what job she have, why she back. Also, Elisa Marie, Proctor's daughter. I'm gonna make a whole nother video if this one do well about additional characters that they can now bring back into the story that we wanted because they're way older and they can actually contribute to it. So I don't know, it's a lot to talk about if they do the storyline in this way. But once again, you can leave your thoughts and opinions on everything down below. As usual though, leave a like, comment, subscribe, and I'm out.